Hey, Heartfelt Awakening, Denny Van here. I help you accelerate your personal and spiritual growth. And we are at the end of our transformation lab. So come on in. We've got some questions and answers and a bonus training and calming down my hair because it's so crazy wild today. And I'm just going to check in and make sure I can see all the comments. Very good. And I know a lot of us are going to be, Saturday, Sunday afternoon kind of thing. So you're going to be watching this later. So let me know if you are here watching it live, because those that are watching it live, I've got a special for you. And if you're watching it later, let me know in the comments that you're checking out the replay. So, really quick here. Happy Sunday to everyone. And we are on day 7 of the Transformation Lab. We have gone over some major details, a lot of information, and I don't want this information to stop at, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I want you to bring it down and experience it. This is the difference. So many of us, we've got the knowledge, we've got the intellectual know-how, but we haven't brought the mind and heart into that space of unity where we experience this magnificent vibration called coherence. Very good. Hey Rowan, hey Landa, how you guys doing? I actually really like your hair today. I don't see it down often. Yeah, the band that goes over my head was not cooperating. So I'm like, screw it. So we have been going over a ton of information with this transformation lab. Just to recap, we are treating this shift, this spiritual awakening, if you will, we're treating this process like a scientist would. On day 1, we started off with a screenshot, a snapshot of where you are with the 4 cornerstones of your beingness, your wholeness. And that is your connection to your mind, body, breath, and spirit. These are the 4 cornerstones. And this transformation lab is a masterclass. And it's for those who are on this journey. And if you're coming into a group called Heartfelt Awakening, you're looking for some guidance, you're looking for some answers, you're looking for community. So what we're doing is we're providing this for you with this masterclass for free. This is coming from our heartfelt to you, so that you can have the foundation that everybody who works with me gets. Very good. You're welcome, Ron. Thank you so much for being here. So on day 1, we took a snapshot. Where are you in these areas of your life? And we answered questions based on the pain scale that hospitals use. Science uses the pain scale. And even though it's subjective, when a group of people come together and have the same kind of numbers and the same kind of experiences, that's when it becomes objective. And so you're going through this process. Number 1, you're not alone. Number 2, we're all going through this shift. And some of us think we're going insane. The world is going crazy. What's going on? Why are these things happening? But when you come into this space, you're able to come to an understanding where physics show us that what's happening in the material world is the end result. We can't start changing what's already happened in the material world because it's the end result. We have to back up and start energetically. And when we change ourselves energetically, we create a vibration, a frequency that begins to completely change the reality that we're experiencing. How many have experienced this? Where you're going through this change, it seems like everything's going crazy. You're focused in on, why isn't this happening? Why isn't that happening? And when you make this shift, you realize it's your energy that needs to change, and then your physical experience begins to change. Excellent. So glad you guys are here. And then probably session 2, if you haven't watched it yet, definitely go back and look at the replays that we've gone over this past week. And these replays are going to be available until Wednesday. So I highly suggest take advantage and watch those replays. If you have not downloaded the workbook, it's in the files in the group, or we can get you the ManyChat bot. We can get you our chat bot, and it can send you the link or the PDF right away without having to give your email or go through some kind of process. You'll get the workbook right away. And then with day 2, if I've had a couple people say I've watched it a couple times, if you can understand how you are everything you need with the concept of the slide and the concept of the plate, and these concepts have been around for a long time. They're not exclusive to reality transurfing, but if you came here because of reality transurfing, this is a wonderful opportunity to apply just two of the concepts from the book, Reality Transurfing. And we know that that book is super thick, 19 chapters, 765 pages, tons of experiences, examples, all kinds of stuff that is in there, exercises that you can begin to apply. We just did two. We just worked on two, slide creation and plate activation. And if you can understand how to do just that, this is when your study of law of attraction or your manifesting ability takes on a whole new direction, takes on a whole new meaning, takes on whole new everything. You start to understand where you need to make the changes, because most of us, our world is a mirror. They say our world is a mirror. And when we're looking in a mirror, we see an image of ourselves. And what we have a tendency to do is want to change the image of ourselves. That's insane. That's the true definition of insanity, isn't it? Trying to change the image in a mirror, when instead I need to come to here and begin to change this. Then over time and action, desired actions going toward my goal, then the image changes, because we are both. We are both the seen and the unseen. We are the physical and the metaphysical. This is our wholeness, and they work together. Very good. Definitely, yes. And then on session 3, we discovered what your most precious gift is. And there's a lot of people in our community who may be Reiki practitioners, energy healers, massage therapists. We work with this energy, and we begin to look for, maybe I can talk to dead people, or maybe I have this gift, quote unquote. Maybe I want to read tarot cards, or maybe I want to do this, and develop this gift. But this gift that I'm talking about, every single one of us has automatically. And this gift, your most precious gift, is your focus, attention, and awareness. Everybody has it. Everyone has it, and it is your most precious gift. And I'm here to tell you, start getting very selfish with what you're putting it on. With what you're putting your precious focus, attention, and awareness on. If you take only one thing away from this 7-day training, take away your most precious gift, because marketing knows this. Pendulums know this, because as soon as something comes and it's saying, hey, look over here, hey, look over here, and then I start to look at this and start feeding this, number one, I'm saying no to me and what I'm supposed to be focused in on, and I'm saying yes to something else. I am now feeding something else my energy, my life force, my chi, if you will. This is your most precious gift. I'm here to tell you, get freaking selfish with it. And it's okay. Let somebody call you selfish. Thank them if they start calling, you're selfish, you're only paying attention to yourself. Why, thank you. That was the ultimate goal. Very good. And then we talked about how you are the genie and the bottle. This is the physical and the metaphysical. You're not just an empty meat suit. There is an energy much larger than what can be held in this small meat suit. And this larger part of me, when I began to shift away from who I thought I was, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm all of these things. When I started to realize that list I made, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a woman, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm all these things, I realized that none of those things are the true me. And once I let go of those ideas of me, I was no longer attached to them. And I was able to let go of those ideas of me and discover who I really was. And what I really am is this magnificent intelligence, energy, being here with a purpose, and I discovered my purpose. And we are going to be going through that in our subscription, where we're going to have the process transformation method. We're going to be getting very clear on your purpose. So many of us are here. I know my purpose is not to get up and do a 9-to-5 job, come home, and have no time for myself. So we're learning and discovering what our purpose is, and we have a simple exercise, and it's free right here in the group. If you want to check out the units, we have a whole training in there on discovering your purpose. And so I highly recommend fine-tuning and narrowing down your purpose and what you need to put your precious focus and awareness attention on, so that that can become clear. And when you start to look away, you are now overstepping your boundaries. Your boundaries become automatic when you get very clear on your purpose, doesn't it? Very good. Excellent. And so then we went in and we did a demonstration, actually several demonstrations, on how to apply this, because you got the head knowledge now. You took a picture and a snapshot of where you are. You have the head knowledge. Okay, there's this larger part of me. There's, my most precious gift, and all of these things that you're learning and taking in intellectually. Then we applied it. We applied it, and we showed this through demonstration, where there were some who were at a 7, 8, and 9 in a situation, went through and discovered how our whole personality works. There's the conscious part of us, there's the unconscious part of us, then there's the subconscious part of us that sees it all. And we train the subconscious how to do this work. And it doesn't have to happen on the conscious level. And we went in some situations from a 7, 8, and 9 to a 2 or a 3. This is huge. This is huge. Very good. Definitely. Hey, Shanae, how are you, darling? And so what I want to do today is, I know that there were several questions that started to come up. Some things about, what is this subscription all about? Is there a guarantee? Can I cancel? So we're going to talk about that and how you can benefit from that, and what we're going to be doing from here on out. This masterclass we offer about every 4 to 6 weeks. So in about 4 to 6 weeks, you'll see this masterclass offered again. And of course, we're going to fine tune it based on your responses, your reactions, your questions, and your experiences. We're fine tuning it more and more, so that even within this free masterclass that we do for all of the members here, even within this, massive shifts are happening on a wonderful, wonderful scale, if you can measure it that way. And so many of us went yesterday, and we kind of did the second time through answering those questions. So the first time going through, the highest number you can get was 80. Some of us had like 57, 48. We had numbers up there. And then we learned about making the shift within us, finding our most precious gift, making these changes within us. And again, there's nothing that needs to be changed about you or fixed about you. Only your shift in perception. That's it. You're just perceiving from a different space. So many of us are perceiving from the human part of us, the human being. My human, I'm Denny, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I have 2 boys, and all of these things. And when I shift to my being, this part is, it's all of it, seeing all of the good and the bad, the stillness and the movement, and all of the intertanglement that we all weave the web of, right? So we're able to see this with space. And it started with creating some of that inner space. And we talked about the human and the being as you begin to connect with this larger, unseen, powerful part of you. When you begin to connect with this, you create this inner space. I like to say, treat this inner space like a vital nutrient, because it's this inner space that allows you to see what is really happening. See your reactions based on past experiences. your current behavior based on past traumas. And so we're able to see these things, whereas before we couldn't. And I say see, quote unquote, because it's an internal experience. Very good. For the total, yes. And then in October, I was around 50, and then now I'm down to a 19. That's huge. That is huge. So the lower you can get the number, just like the pain scale, from 1 meaning, no pain at all, 10 being, oh my God, kill me now, kind of pain. It's so painful, something has to happen now to get relief. So where are you? Where are you? And this is an internal checking in. Very good. And so what I wanted to do today, I wanted to answer your questions and then open it up so that you can have an understanding of what we're going to be doing in the process transformation method. And I want to leave a link to that. I'm going to do that right now so that you guys can check it out, whether you're watching now or you're going to be watching later. Here is the link to our subscription, and our subscription is where we get together as a group and we do this work as a group, because you are the genie in the bottle. And it's when you have the experience of shifting into the human part of you, where things are constantly moving, changing, never the same, unstable. The world and its desires is passing away. Everything in this 5 sensory world is unstable, is constantly changing. But there is something within you that doesn't change, that is very stable. And you have to go inside to connect with it. And so what we do is we come from this space that there's nothing within you that needs to be fixed. Absolutely nothing. There's no diagnosis you need other than creating this inner space and understanding when you bring the mind and the heart. The mind has its own frequency, and this is measurable. Science, medicine can measure these things. They can measure the frequency coming off the brain. They can measure the frequency off the heart. When you bring these two frequencies together, it creates its own frequency. It's called coherence. This is where the magic happens. This is where the magic happens. How many understand this? How many have experienced this? And we want to provide you the opportunity to work together as a group. And we wanted to make it very affordable. And because we're launching this, we want to give you the opportunity to come in on the ground floor, where you can have a monthly subscription where you can participate in this group work every week. Every week you can participate in this group work, and we're making it so that if you sign on while our cart is open, it's $57 a month. And you get every single Sunday or every single week group work, plus you get a one-on-one call with our accountability team. And so if this is for you, definitely take advantage of it. And I would love for you to participate. And this is what I'm going to be doing every single week, working with you on a group level. Very good. And so what we're doing is creating this reality. You know, it doesn't have to be anything complicated. It doesn't have to be anything where you have to chase after your dreams. We set it up. We use a model and a framework to set up your desired reality, where the larger part of you brings it to you instead of you going and chasing after your desires and your dreams. Do you feel the difference? You can feel the difference. And so when we do this group work, we uncover these parts that might be running programs in the background. Whereas when something happens in our 5 sensory reality right now to trigger us, past experiences take over our behaviors and begin to run the decisions that we make. And so what we're doing is we're reprogramming these and integrating all of these parts into the wholeness that you are, the complete personality that you are, having no hidden parts that pop up and seem to take over your personality when everything is going haywire, right? Very good. Checking in with the comments. Very good. Will the group sessions be on Zoom? Yes, they will. They will be on Zoom. so that we can have this interaction, and we'll have somebody in the hot seat, and every person will have an opportunity to do this work. And there may be some people where somebody's working on something and they're working on it too, and they get the healing they need. So it really depends on where you are and what's going on. Then you learn not only how to do this on yourself, but when there's something happening in your experience, you can do this work within your physical world, maybe for somebody else within you. You heal these within you, because on the level of the subconscious, we're all connected on this level. This is the collective unconscious. So when you heal the work within you, you're healing the work on a collective unconscious level. Very good. And for now, we're going to be meeting every Sunday, and as the group grows, we'll be adding days for every week as we come together. I like to call it like a satsang, where we come together and you get the spiritual food that you need in that moment and the tools you need in that moment in order to do this inner work, and then it manifests in your reality. Very good. Great. One thing I love about Zoom is that you can click on a link, but before it starts and you're in there, you won't miss anything. On Facebook, you have to keep refreshing the page. I didn't know that. Yeah, good to know. So yeah, we definitely want to create this space where, number one, people feel that their their privacy is protected. And when we do lives on Zoom, on Facebook, anybody can have access to it on Facebook. And when we do these lives in Zoom, what we're going to be doing is you'll have access to the replay, and we're going to be having a separate private Facebook group, so you have access to announcements, and you can ask or get answers to any questions immediately, so that emails and stuff like that, a lot of people aren't using emails anymore. So what we're doing is we're looking for ways to make this as simple as possible, because with simplicity, then you have follow through. If we make it complicated or confusing, a complicated mind or a confused mind doesn't take action, right? How many can attest to this? Well, I don't know what to do. Next, you're off on something else, right? So with this, our purpose and our goal is to keep your focus, awareness, and attention in training. Your focus and awareness and attention is in training during this process as well. Very good. Excellent. Just checking in the messages. I'm so glad you guys are here. Hi. Very good. And I work with a lot of mentees. We've been doing some mentorship work within Reality Transurfing, and your feedback has been phenomenal. And we've been incorporating this feedback into the work that we're doing to make it super simple, stupid proof kind of thing, because I'm the kind of person where, ADD, I have shiny object syndrome. I could be off on something else. So we want to keep it simple so that you can go through this process and begin to manifest your desired reality. And this is where your current reality and your desired reality, the difference between the two, that resistance, the gap is closer and closer and closer. Very good. You're welcome, darling. In October, I was around a 50, and then I'm now down to a 19. Excellent. Interesting. Email is my favorite form of communication. It surprises me that people aren't using it as much. Yeah, you'll be surprised when we send out emails. Probably only about 5 to 7% of the people actually open the email we send. Yeah. So I'm a little surprised too. I like email, I like texting, but there's people who like certain things. And so we're trying to make it user-friendly for everyone. Very good. So with that said, what I'd love for you to do is tell me, where were you at the beginning of this? Where were you at the end? Where is your gap? And if there's anybody on right now that would like to go through something where maybe you're a 6, a 7, or maybe even an 8 with where you are, we can begin to do some of this work as well right now, so you can get more of a feel of what we're going to be doing. So in the Process Transformation weekly class, the subscription, we're going to have, it's a year-round membership. And it's a mentorship. So you can join and you can unjoin anytime you want to. You can join for a month, take advantage of, 4 gatherings where we gather and do this healing work and your one-on-one time, or you can just do it every month. You can just have the subscription roll over every month. It's completely up to you. If you do a month and cancel, no problem. If you continuously do it every single month, it's completely up to you. This is for your benefit. My benefit is I'm getting this out there and I'm providing this tool, this magnificent tool for people. And we're going to get to a point where we're going to start training people on how to do this work with others. And that's where we want to go. That's the direction we want to go in training people on how to do this work. But it's got to start with you. Right? I've been doing this work on myself since my diagnosis of cancer in 2001. I had to be okay with dying in 2 years because I was told I'd be dead in 2 years. I had to come to a point where I was okay with whatever was happening in my material world. And I knew in the larger part of me and the energy part of me, this is the more important part. That when I'm in a frequency that creates this coherence, this is where the magic happens within me. And I get selfish with this. And if I can do this and teach others how to do this, this is when I'm working with people who they themselves are going through chemo treatment right now. Working with a couple right now who someone got a cancer diagnosis and then a second cancer diagnosis, and getting them to a point where they're going through with whatever decisions they're making, whether they want the treatment or they don't want the treatment. Whatever this decision they make, they are moving forward from that point, not in fear, but in knowing that they're creating this frequency of coherence and they're giving their body what it needs right now. And so we have these weekly calls. And and we're also creating an exclusive member community, and that is going to be on Facebook. We're just going to have a private Facebook group for anybody who says, I have a question on this. Where are we meeting? What time are we meeting? Anything that you need within that group. But all of the work is going to be done within Zoom so that we can have some private time together, and that is shared only within the group. Because sometimes in the group, there's some deep-rooted stuff that will come up, and we want to make sure that we create a space for no guilt or shame, because guilt or shame is not going to serve you. And we're going to create a space for guilt and shame to come up and out and released to the ocean, and all of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is kept within the healing team. And we're going to teach you how to keep the cohesiveness of your healing team, because we get sideswiped, right? Something happens in our reality and whoop, there we go. We haven't meditated for 3 weeks. We haven't been taking care of ourselves because we're putting everything else ahead of ourselves, right? How many are guilty of that? Me. It's happening in my life right now. I have to kind of like come back to my center several times throughout the day. So this is a practice of coming back. But each time I come back, this inner strength that I've created, this inner space that I treat like a vital nutrient, each time it gets easier and more healing. Very good. And so even, I've talked with people, and even after 2 sessions, their reality has changed based on this work. And this work is a combination of things. You can go off and learn all of these things. You're welcome to do that. It's reality transurfing, law of attraction, metaphysics, physics, EFT, emotional freedom technique, and process healing method with Dr. Gary Flint. So definitely check out our YouTube channel. We've got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of YouTubes and videos and trainings on all of those things. But this group work that we're doing together is including all of those things applied to you, and how to make these shifts right now. Very good. Very good. So just checking in here with the comments. Hey, Lauren, so glad you're here. Very good. So I know it's the weekend, and a lot of times when we do these master classes, the weekend views kind of drop off because everybody's busy on the weekend. So most of the people who watch the bonus trainings tend to do it on the replay. So let me know if you're watching the replay. And also before Wednesday, let me know if you have any questions about our subscription training, the work that we're going to be doing every single week. And we want to make this super affordable, super easy to decide to do it. There's no risk involved other than raising your vibration and changing your reality and bringing this reality, the reality that you want, your desired reality. Our current reality, so many of us want to change it. But again, it's like trying to change what you see in a mirror. It's like I'm looking at a mirror and I'm trying to change everything. It's already done. It's already done. The magical formula is within the kingdom of the heavens within. You get clear on your slide, you activate that plate, and watch your reality change. And so some of us, when we have barriers, if you will, or past experiences that may be preventing us from moving forward, or you feel stuck, or there's a mindset or a belief that is sabotaging you, then this is for you. This is definitely for you. And I work with so many people who are in business, trying to get their business up and going, yet they have a belief, they have a mindset that money doesn't grow on trees, that I got to work really hard for that money. And then when we shift and release those beliefs, those programs running in the background, we release it and reprogram it. The subconscious is doing all this work. And integrate all the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with the wholeness that you are. That's when mindsets and blocks instantly change. Instantly change. And I've been trying to get clients for 3 years, and after 2 sessions with me, all of a sudden clients are knocking on her door, wanting to know how they can work with her. And it was all here. It was all here. Because what happens is, as we're going on through life, we'll get to a point where we got to grow, right? We have to grow. And sometimes that growth is uncomfortable. And if we have unconscious programs or traumas still running in the background, when we get to that point of being uncomfortable, those programs are going to pull us back into our comfort zone. How many have this happen to? It's like, you're almost getting that job, or you're getting that career, or you're getting that client, or you're this close, and something sabotages you and pulls you back into your comfort zone. How many has this happened to? I know it's happened to me, and I realized I was the one who pulled myself back. I was the one who sabotaged the situation. I was the one who didn't follow through and take the next step because of something pulling me back into my comfort zone. And then I started working on these things, and I realized, you know what? My wings are extended and they're helping me balance and fly to the next step. Very good. For the total, great. One thing I love about Zoom is that you can click. Yes, we talked about that. Going back on the email has been your preferred way. How do you know if you've shifted? Very good. Excellent question, Lauren. So how do you know if you've shifted? Is your mind calmer, or is the mind still going 10,000 miles an hour? Do you have anxiety or panic attacks when you think about the situation? Do you have different thoughts about the situation? Do you get to the point where you were uncomfortable before and now you're not so much uncomfortable? You might be like, well, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm going to do the step anyway. Are you at that point, or are you still at a point where, ooh, it's uncomfortable, I think I'm going to step back into my comfort zone? That's how you know. You're making steps forward without even realizing it. It's like, oh my gosh, all of these things are happening as if they're happening by themselves. And so I have these things happening in the background. I've got this thing that's going wonderfully and beautifully. I have I'm a visual language specialist, and I'm the professional development chair for the entire state of Illinois for people that do my kind of work and are licensed to do it. I'm their professional development chair. And so that is going beautifully. And then I was just asked to co-host the Food Sensitive Network, the podcast there. So that's starting to go beautifully. And I sit back and I realize, oh my gosh, there was a point where I'd be like, no, I'm not good enough to do that. Or, oh, no, who the heck am I? Or, oh no, I can't do that because of all this uncomfortable stuff is coming up. So I just say, yes, that's the next logical step. This is the direction I want to go in. And I start taking those steps. Whereas before, you're asking is how do you know if you've shifted? Before, I might procrastinate, self-sabotage, forget. These things might happen and I lose the opportunities. We all have the same opportunities, don't we? All of us have the same opportunities. It's what's going on inside that either keeps you open to them or closes you off. Because as energy circuits, we're energy circuits, just like nature and physics show us. And with energy circuits, you are in either one of two positions, open or closed. And for a long time, I was closed because it was past experiences that would pull me back into my comfort zone and prevent me from moving forward and stepping into something I was, I didn't know, or I didn't even know if I could do it kind of thing. I went ahead and did it anyway, and I did it. So if I can do these things coming from, a second oldest of 8 kids, growing up in poor in Chicago, coming from a mindset that money doesn't grow on trees, and coming into this space where everything in my reality has changed. If I can do it, so can you. Only you have a framework and a model and how to understand, okay, I have these things, now I'm going to put this model on. You're going to dress it up like you're putting on a shirt. And now you're going to move from this space. Very good. Yes, I'm in the middle of self-sabotage. Yeah, self-sabotage is huge. And it feels so real. Everything feels real. Everything feels so real. And it's the mind telling you it's real. But the larger energy being part knows it's not real. It's not real. Very good. Yes, that's a reoccurring problem. Indeed it is. And I have moments like that, but the anxiety and depression are ruminating, and ruminating thoughts are majority. So yeah, definitely, I totally get you there. Check into some things. First of all, how much stimulants are you getting? Because when you stimulate the nervous system, you stimulate the mind. Now, I love my cup of joe. I love my coffee, but I'm also aware of what I'm putting in my body that is going to stimulate the nervous system. So start there. But if your mind is still going, then remind yourself, I am not my mind. Because your mind's job is to look for all of the possibilities and to narrate everything to you. Like you can see it's cold, but your mind has to tell you it's really freaking cold, right? So when you create some space between the activity of your mind and who you really are, instead of your mind being here and attacking you, oh my God, my mind just won't shut up. And of course it's 3:30 in the morning, right? Oh my gosh, my mind won't shut up. To, oh, I'm not my mind. Then I begin to transcend it. Now the mind is down here, still doing its thing. Still doing its thing, because the mind, it's going to do its thing. It's still doing its thing, but I've transcended it. That means I'm not looking at it and feeding it. Feeding it my focus, awareness, and attention. Feeding it my most precious gift, right? So I've created some space between what's happening in the mind. And as soon as I start getting in the mind and feeling that anxiety and stuff, and like I'm right here in my mind, that's when I go, am I my mind? And I give myself a breath and some space and allow myself to remember I'm not my mind. So see if that will help you, Lauren, because the world is going to keep moving. There's always going to be something going on in the world. There's always going to be something to put your focus, awareness, and attention on. That's not your purpose. The practice is to, what is my purpose? What am I here for? Have I done the things that I'm supposed to be doing today, right now? Do those things. do those things. And we get very clear. We get mastermind clear. We get mastermind clear in this group. And if you want to learn more about this, definitely hit me up with any questions that you have. I have moments like that, but the anxiety and depression are ruminating thoughts are majority. Yeah, definitely. These can take over. These can take over and ruin your day. And ruin your day. And ruin your whole outlook on life. And more people are checking out because they don't see a way out. This is a way out. This is a way out. Very good. Excellent. Just checking in on the comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. So if there are no other questions, I want to thank you for being on this journey with me, and I want to give you a call to action. What I'd like for you to do is go check out our landing page. Go check out the page about our group work that we're doing. If you have any questions, let's get on a call together. Let's chat about this. Very good. Past 2 days, mind is testing me. I cannot do this. Telling me I cannot do this. Of course, the mind can't do it. I'm going to tell you right now that for sure the mind can't do it. The mind is telling you the truth. The mind cannot do it. It cannot do it. So for the past 2 days, the mind is telling me I cannot do this. It's telling you the truth. Because the mind can't do it. But you can. The genie part of you can. It can. And will. And is. Very good. Yes. And so thank you, mind, for letting me know your limitations. Our minds are very limited. Our three-dimensional, five-sensory world is very limited. But the kingdom of the heavens within, this space within, is unlimited. There are no boundaries. It's expansive, nothingness. And this is where everything in this material world that we can use our five senses to detect comes from, is birthed from. So you're coming into where your naturalness is, your natural center is. This is expansive nothingness, is the true you. Because I can't bring Denny with me. I can't bring that I'm a mother with me. I can't bring that I'm a wife with me. I can't bring those things that some of us might be attached to. Well, I'm a this. This is who I am. This right here is who I am. I can't bring that in this space with me. Even Jesus said, no flesh can enter the kingdom of the heavens. Nothing about this human can come into this space with me. No flesh can enter the kingdom of the heavens. Denny cannot come in this space with me. I gotta let her go. All of Denny's memories and beliefs and programmings and ideas and dreams cannot come in this space with me. I have to let them go. And I discovered this when I was told if I turned down chemo and radiation, I would be dead in 2 years. Now, of course, all of this fear started to come up. Oh my God, I'm going to be dead in 2 years if I don't do these things. I had to come to a point where being okay with dying. I had to get to a point with being okay with dying. That means I'll be dead in 2 years. But this is the work I got to do for me. And the more inner space I created, the longer I'm alive. I mean, come on, it's 2020. That means this June will be 19 years since that diagnosis, that I would be dead in 2 years if I did not turn down, if I turned down chemotherapy and radiation. So think about that for a moment. I had to be okay with dying. So if you're okay with whatever's happening in this material world, whatever's happening with this body, whatever's happening in the mind, just be okay with it. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to fix. But come into your genie, expand your genie beyond the bottle, beyond the physicalness. This is where the magic happens. There's no words. People tell me their relationship changed. They lose suddenly 30 pounds without even trying. They get the jobs they want. They just think about something and things are manifesting in their material world based on the inner space that they're creating. You're amazing, darling. Thank you. Excellent. So with that said, I want to give away a free session with me. And based on everybody who's here, tell me who all is here right now. Because according to this, I have 4 people on. I have 4 people on right now. Tell me who is here right now. And I want to do a giveaway. I want to do a free session with you guys to give you this gift blessing that I've been blessed with, and to give it to you so that you can create that space. And I know a couple of you, we've already worked together, and if you want another session, I'm up for it too. Me, you're amazing, darling. Absolutely, Lauren. Very good. My meat suit is here. Very good. Very good. So we have Lauren. I know we have a couple more people watching. Who else is here? Say now that you're here, and you're going to get a free session with me, and we can do this as soon as possible. So we have Lauren and Rowan. Congratulations. You guys have been working with me already for a while. My meat suit is here. I love it. I love it. And I work with people who, how do I say, they're in the wrong body. They say, I was born female, but I am male. So they're transgender. So they have a lot of disconnect with their body. And I work with several who identify as transgender and working on having a better relationship with their meat suit. And just that little bit of shift has been profound for so many on this journey who, just like the plant and animal kingdom show us that, you have plants that are hermetized. You have a female plant that will become a male plant. And we have animals in the animal kingdom that will change genders. So for us to ignorantly say that that can't happen is coming from a space of ignorance. So I say ignore ignorance. Ignore the ignorance and work on you. Work on accepting where you are in this time and space and what your purpose is here for. Because if you're worried about or disconnected from your meat suit, you're not here doing your purpose. You're here for a reason. And so my goal is to get you into this space where your purpose is clear, your goals are clear, your boundaries are set up, you know exactly what you're saying yes to, and you know exactly what you have to say no to. And this is where I would love for you to get. Very good. With me, I'm more non-binary, gender fluid, so that gets very confusing. It gets confusing for a lot of people. So with you, you are who you are. And what's most important for somebody like you is acceptance. And with acceptance, it's got to start with you first. Once you accept yourself 100%, if there's somebody that's not accepting of you, they're not in your inner circle. You only accept people in your inner circle who are fully accepting of you. But you have to come to a point of pure acceptance. This is the body I was given, and I'm fluid between genders. This is the body I was given, and I'm fluid. I don't identify with just one label. I'm not a label person. You give me a label, I'll be both. So we need people like you. We need you, darling. We need you. But you have to come to a space of pure acceptance of where you are right now in your meat suit, in your reality. And once you understand that, then that desired reality, the gap and the resistance between your current reality and desired reality, this is where the magic happens. Very good. Excellent. Thank you for that. And education about this is so important because there was a point in my life where I was completely clueless. I didn't know anything about this until people close to me started to educate me about, transgender. And I learned from science and other cultures. There are other cultures who have as many as 6 different genders. So we see boy and girl. That's it. But nature and science show us so much more. So we have a very limited view on our world. And so when we create this inner space, whatever changes happen in our material world, we're not so tight with it. We're not so clinging onto it. We're not so tightly wound around it. And we're able to fluid between. We're able to become more fluid within ourselves, right? Very good. Very good. So your homework is, I would like to know where you were at the beginning when we went through those questions, where you are at the end, that you've gone through all of the training, this cornerstone, the 4 cornerstones of this training, and giving you a foundation. And you can take this foundation and run with it and just completely change your reality with just this. But if there's stuff going on inside, some parts of you that haven't been integrated, some parts of you that get triggered and come up into your experience and somehow take over your behavior and take over your thoughts, then this work is for you. This is for you, and we want to make this available heartfelt. That's what we want to do. Excellent. Ancient Jewish legal texts allow for 6 genders, even if it's not really recognized in the modern religion cultures. Yeah, and the ancient Jewish texts go way back, prior to Egyptian time. So yes, there was a point where they were starting to recognize, because a lot of that tradition, there's a lot of science in that as well. And there was a point where science and religion split. And I think we're coming to a point where science and religion are coming back together. I believe that's where we're at right now, because it's not just religion and it's not just science. It has to come together. Very good. This week I went from a 26.5 down to a 19. I love the 0.5. That is so awesome. That's a huge shift. That's huge. Very good. Very good. So Rowan and Lauren, thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are going to get a free session with me, and let's make this a very profound, life-shifting session. I'm all for that. And we can do it either together or separate one-on-one. I'd like to get that scheduled right away. So send me off a message and we'll get you guys scheduled right away for that. Very good. So with all of that said, I want to thank you, first of all, for being a part of this community. Our intention was to create this community because community is the root chakra. And so many of us don't have anybody to talk to about this. So many of us are going through shifts and massive changes. We don't know what to trust or even what to believe anymore. So our heartfelt goal was to create community. And I feel like we've done that with this community, because this community is so awesome compared to other communities that I'm in. I haven't booted out anybody. I haven't had to, say this is wrong, don't do that in our group. I haven't had to do any of that, because we are all here for the purpose of this awakening and to create this space for our material world to begin to make massive shifts. Very good. Thank you so much. So you went from a 60 to a 56. Excellent. Very good. And if you need to, we'll go over some of that in our session together as well. So with our group subscription program, we have the link for that. We're going to start on Groundhog's Day, February 2nd, and we're going to be meeting every Sunday for that, to have this group work happening. And when there's healing that happens on the group level, even if you're kind of listening in and I might be helping somebody else, the work is still happening within you. This is the power of this group work that we're doing together. It's kind of like when you go to satsang and you just sit with the master and the master's working on someone else. You're feeling those shifts within you, right? How many have experienced that? That's the goal of this, so that we can all go through these shifts profoundly together. And it's more of an uncovering and discovering as opposed to fixing. Because again, there's nothing you need to fix. Nothing. Even a diagnosis of cancer. Because I'll tell you, when I compare pictures of when I was 35 and I was diagnosed with cancer to today, I'm 53. Transpose the numbers, right? 35 to 53. I look younger now than I did when I was diagnosed with a very fast spreading form of cancer, stage 4, malignant melanoma. And when I look at those pictures, I can see in my eyes, I didn't know who I was. I was scared to death. I was constantly in panic. I had past ghosts that were constantly haunting me from past experiences that weren't healed and integrated. And I can see in the picture when I put them side by side the power of this work and the power that it has on this meat suit to heal it. Very good. You're welcome, darling. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. So tomorrow we're going to be having a bonus training from my right-hand man, Mrs. Monica Artrip. She's going to be coming on and talking about her experience, and we'll probably have some more bonus trainings. And we are going to be closing the cart, closing the opportunity to jump on this group work that we're going to be doing here at this price. Because it is new and we're opening up, we wanted to make sure that you got in on the ground floor, and the price is going to be going up because we won't be able to afford to keep it at this low price, so that you can take advantage of this. Absolutely. That's how old I am now. I can't imagine even getting a diagnosis like that, but I know if I did, I'd follow the same path you did. Follow your heart, honey. You know, if you're saying no to chemotherapy and radiation because I did, that's the wrong answer. If you're saying no to chemotherapy and radiation because your heart and mind are in unity and that's what it tells you to do, that's the right answer. Because I work with people where their heart and mind says to do the chemotherapy and radiation. So it really depends on where you are with your heart and mind. Excellent. Yeah, at 35, I had 2 kids. I had 2 boys. Ages 7 and 13. Very young. I was a young mom. Very good. Absolutely. And I'm working with somebody right now who is at the point of he's wondering if he should go forward with at least the radiation. And there's the mind and heart is coming into unity with at least the radiation. And he's saying no to chemotherapy. So you have to bring your heart and mind in unity with whatever you're facing and be in that space where healing happens. I made a decision very long time ago. Good for you. Good for you. So mind and heart is already in unity with that. Excellent. Good for you. But you really don't know until you're in that situation, right? So definitely allow that mind and heart to get into unity and let the mind and heart make that decision, and never let fear make that decision, because I could feel a split happening where I would go down the path of fear and poor me, look at me, I got cancer and I have to go through this chemotherapy and radiation, poor me. And I felt that was the path to death. That as soon as I made that decision to go down that path of fear, that I was already dead. And I felt that making a stand, no, listening to that voice saying, that's not for me. And that's what I did. I listened to the voice saying, that's not for me. And here I am this June. I'll be 54, and it will be 19 years since that phone call. Since that phone call from the doctor, I am so sorry, it's malignant melanoma. That's a death sentence. That is a death sentence to most people. It is unheard of that somebody there's different kinds of skin cancer. There's melanoma, there's basal melanoma. Those are slow moving. But when you're diagnosed with malignant melanoma, that spreads throughout the body. It's a death sentence. And so when I heard that voice inside say, that's not for you, I listened. Very good. Excellent. So with that said, I can't believe that these calls, these trainings that I do, the time just flies right by. We've been on this training for an hour. So what I want you to do, if you're watching the replay, let me know you're watching the replay. I want to know where you are when we started out this training and where you are today, what that difference is. And I want to answer any questions that you have about our subscription. And if you want to get on a call with me, absolutely we can do that to answer any of your questions, like, is this for me? Will it be right for me? Absolutely we can do that, because this might not be for everyone, and that's okay. That's okay too, because I want to offer this heartfelt. This is a heartfelt offering for you. And with that said, checking out the comments. Sometimes I see them all, sometimes I don't. Very good. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me, and I look forward to continuing this growth and expansion that we have going on in the group and the community that we're creating in the group. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. Blessings.